The final week of 2025 retraced the entire Santa rally with a strong downtrend. Do we have more downside to start the year, or can we push back to all-time highs? Here's my trading plan for this week. Last week saw a slow correction as we retraced the entire Santa rally and filled that Sunday open gap from December 21st. We failed 69.68 early in the week, and sellers defended every key backtest for a steady stream of lower lows and lower highs for a smooth downtrend into 68.96 late in the week. The key moment this week was the failure of the 69.42 support shelf, and then sellers defended that on a backtest on Friday, which led to another sell-off into new weekly lows into 68.64. There was some pretty good two-way trading this week. There were still some nice longs. The best longs were the failed breakdowns of 69.42 and then 68.97 and 68.71 on Friday. The best short opportunities this week on this correction were backtests of failure points. So 69.68 failed, then the backtest, the first backtest of the failure point here, good opportunity to short, as well as the backtest of 69.42, really 69.37 to 42 here after the overnight rally Thursday night into Friday morning. The plan for next week all depends on the prior week low and Friday low around 68.64. This is a key level, and sellers need to see failure of 68.64 for continuation of the correction that started last week, which would target 68.34 and 67.95. The key pivots for next week are 68.64, 68.96, and 69.42. The thesis for upside next week would be that buyers defend or trap the prior week low if tested, and then hold above 68.96 for continuation of the relief rally towards 69.42. Now, acceptance above 69.42 would put sellers off sides and then break the downtrend from last week, which would likely target the swing high at 69.91. For downside next week, sellers need to defend 69.37 to 42 and then hold below 68.96 in order to test the prior week lows. And the larger sell-off happens if 68.64 fails, and especially if it fails and is offered on a backtest. This would likely retrace more of the Thanksgiving rally towards 68.34 and 67.95. Some of the top weekly setups to watch for next week on the long side, I would always watch for a failed breakdown of the prior week low for a long, which would target 68.96 and 69.13. Reclaim of 69.13 early in the week is also a possible long entry for that move back into 69.26 and possibly 69.42. If we see acceptance above 69.42, you'll also probably want to look long for that continuation move back into 69.68. On the short side, if we test higher early in the week especially, look for shorts on a back test of 69.42 or a look above and fail of the Friday high that then fails back below 69.37. If the prior week low fails and is rejected on a back test, you could also look short for that continuation move down into 68.34 and 67.95. That's what I'll be watching for on ES this week. If you want to trade live with real pros every day, join us at Trade with Insight.